Hi, it's Dominic. If you are into AI images, AI influencers, and the latest in the AI world, you're in the right place. Let's begin. In today's video, I want to show you how to create an introduction video for your AI influencer's Fanvue account. This is super important to make your profile stand out and to attract potential subscribers. Stay tuned until the end because I can promise you, if you follow the steps I'm going to show you, you have a perfect introduction video, and besides that, you will also learn how to create your own AI generated music. Sounds interesting? Let's begin with the tutorial. Good, as you can see, I already opened CapCut, and this is exactly the software we are going to use to create our introduction video. CapCut is completely for free, very powerful, and I use it for any video related topic you can think of. And as you can see, I already created the entire introduction video, but in a second I will delete all that and then we will go through the entire building process so that you can follow along and recreate exactly that Fanvue introduction video. Just to understand the general concept a little bit better, we have here a timeline where we have all the images we are going to use in that introduction video. We have down here the audio where we will put an AI generated soundtrack that we can use completely license free for whatever purpose you can think of. And up here we also have a little video effect that just looks cool. This is just my personal favor and this is how I like to create an introduction video, but feel free to adjust that video however you like. But with the methods that I'm going to show you, you already have a good foundation to create an introduction video that looks good, fast and easy. Good, now we delete all that and then we will recreate exactly that video. Good, and the first step to make that happen is to take all our images that we want to use in that video and drag them down to the timeline. In that example, I work with 11 images. Of course, you can use more or less, but I think with 11, it works quite fine. And then we just repeat that whole process and we drag the 11 images just a second time down to the timeline so that we have 22 images in total. And in the next step, we have to adjust the length of each single image so that we get the desired effect, how the video should look like in the end. That we have first one image that is shown a little bit longer, then we have flashes of just a few seconds, and then we have every single image a little bit longer with about 1 second of view time. And to do that, we have to adjust the size of these frames, and this can be done very easy. We just have to zoom in a little bit more, and then we will begin with the first image. As you can see, the default is 5 seconds, and if we would not adjust it, this image would be there for 5 seconds. But we just want 2 seconds because I already tested it out. And to do that, we just have to move that slider a little bit until more or less 2 seconds. And now when we hit play, this image is just seen for 2 seconds. Good, that's it for the first one. And now the next 10 images should be seen only a quarter second. And to adjust this, it's sometimes a little bit difficult, but you will see in a minute how it's done. And sometimes you have to move around a little bit because you can't just mark these images and select a quarter second. You actually have to do it with that slider, and this is a little bit tricky sometimes, but I'm sure you will get it done. So we mark these images that we want to adjust now, and then we just move them with that slider to make them shorter. And in the first step, we just have to check whether this is enough or not. We hit play, and yeah, this already looks quite good, but I want the images to be seen even shorter. So we zoom in a little bit more, and I just adjust this even more because I just want short flashes of these images. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, that's already way better. Maybe a little bit more, something like that. And as you can see, that's exactly the effect I wanted. Good. In the next step, we have to continue with the last 11 images. These, we mark them with the mouse, and then we also have to adjust the time for these last 11 images. And for these last images, I already tested it out. It looks quite good if we go with something more or less about 1 second, something like that. So we have a total now of 16.5 seconds, which is quite okay. And all these images now will be just seen for more or less 1 second, which is enough for an introduction video. As you can see, some images are square, others are vertical, and to make that look good and like the same, I just have to adjust the square images a little bit with that zoom in slider here with the scale. And yeah, we don't have to work too precise here. I just want the video to look nice and clean, and then it's better if all the images have like the same aspect ratio. Of course, if you only have vertical images, you don't have to do that. Of course, we have to do the same here for that shorter flashes. So we zoom in here and adjust also the size of these images. But as I said, if you already have the perfect aspect ratio, you don't have to do that step and you are done even faster. Good, that's it. Now we already have the correct length and the time, how long each image is seen. And now we have to add in some effects to make that video look cool. And we start with the first image by clicking on it, going to animation, and then we select the effect that is called drop down. And down here we can adjust the length of that effect. I go with 0.8 because this looks quite nice. And then we apply another kind of effect to exactly these images here. Unfortunately, we can't do like a bulk edit and give the same effects to all these images. So we have to do that step by step, starting with the first one. And the effect is called Zoom 1. We set that to 0.2, and now we just have to go through all these images, select the same effect, set it to 0.2, and yeah, I will be back to you when this is done. Good, now we have the correct length of our images, we have all the effects, and the overall structure of our video is already done. Now there are only two things missing. One is the music and one is another video effect. And we continue with the video effect. I want to add a little filter so that the beginning of the video looks a little bit more interesting. Of course, this is just my personal favor. If you want to do that different, just leave it away or go with another effect. We click here to Effects, Nightclub, and then to Tremor Strobe. And when we hit that plus, we apply that effect to the first 11 images. And as you can see, this gives a little bit like a dreamy editing to the images and just makes it look a little bit more interesting. Good, it's already applied to the correct length. As you can see, we also can move that effect with that slider, and I just want it for the first 11 images. Good, that's it. And now there's only one step missing, and that is the soundtrack. And as I already told you in the introduction, we will create our own AI generated music for that. This maybe sounds complicated to you, but no worries, you will see in a second that this is super easy. It's done in a couple of seconds and it's even fun. So let's do it. I'm here at the starting screen of Mubert.com. And this is the platform which we are going to use to generate our own AI music. You can log in here completely for free with a Google account, and then you can use the tool to generate your own soundtracks or background music. And this is exactly what we want to do in that tutorial. So log in, and after that, you're here at that starting screen. After you are logged in, you come to exactly that screen, and then you hit here generate a track now. And now you see the mask that we have to fill out to generate our own AI music. And it's very, very easy because we only have to select a prompt and how long the song should be. We go with exactly that prompt, a sensual and mystic song for an introduction video for an exclusive content platform, and we set the duration to 30 seconds. After that, we hit generate track and we have to wait a couple of seconds until our AI music is generated. Good, our AI music is done, and to download it, you just have to click onto that button. As I already created a soundtrack earlier, we will just go with the soundtrack I already created, but now you know how to generate your own music. Good, I'm back to CapCut, and as you can see, I already uploaded the soundtrack I created at mubert.com to CapCut. And to add that soundtrack to our video, we just have to click on that plus icon. Then the soundtrack gets added and we shift it here to the beginning of our video. And as you can see, we don't even need the full length of that soundtrack. So we can just go to the end, and here we click to delete the right end. Then the soundtrack gets cropped to the length of our video. And then we just add a little fade out. And the fade out is basically just an effect to lower the sound of the music in the last couple of seconds to make it fade out. And this is just nicer as if the soundtrack just stops suddenly. One last information, sometimes the soundtracks are a little bit loud. In case you want to lower the volume a little bit, you can just do that with that slider you find up here. Now the video is done and we can check out the result. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed the video and you got some value out of it. If so, make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments if you tested out this method to create your own introduction video. I hope we see each other in the next video. Take care and goodbye.